Welcome to the introduction of the Career Pilot Academy. It is very good to see you. Thank you so very much for being here. We're going to talk about this course. We're going to talk about this academy. You guys are pilots and you're interested in growing your careers. This entire introduction is going to go through all of that. So I just want to thank you for being here and for being a part of this course. And I hope you get a lot of value out of it. All right, let's get started. So we are crossing the threshold into your commercial pilot career. Like I said, this is the introduction course, and this is going to be for you guys to go through. So let's get started. Get yourself a drink, get some water, get some coffee, just kick back and relax, and we'll get right into it. So let's talk about the introduction of this course. Let's start off with the outline. We've got 4 modules for this course. We've got the welcome. We're going to talk about why this academy exists, what is CAVU and the core values, and then how does it all work. So for our module pre-flight, we are going to go through the just kind of introduction to the introduction. So by the end of this course, you are going to accomplish the following. This entire academy is designed for you as the pilot. And so it's designed to take you from a place of after you've graduated, you don't have a job, you don't have a career yet, and you don't really have a professional profile. We're going to take you from that spot to a respectable status with a high quality cover letter and resume. And then we're going to take you and show you a clear path to start your career, to set you up for the best possible chance of getting interviewed and hired by the desired company that you want. That is what this entire academy is about. This entire process has taken me several years to learn and experience just through time and having different jobs in aviation. So this academy condenses a decade of my experiences and my mistakes into a smaller portion for you to learn. Days, decades, a decade into a day. That's what this course is designed for. That's what this academy is designed for. So think about this. The smartest and most successful people in this world, they don't only learn from their mistakes, they actually learn from other people's mistakes by watching and seeing and learning. By doing that, it prevents them from going down the same path of mistakes, and then they can kind of create and form their own path. As a pilot, I want to provide that to you. So this introduction will teach you about the entire academy, how it works, and how you'll be able to navigate through each course and each module. All right, so welcome to this academy. Welcome to the CAVU Career Pilot Academy. I'm sure you and I have met before, but of course, my name is Seth. I'm a commercial pilot, and I've been in aviation since 2005. If you're coming in from Facebook or YouTube, or you've been part of another part of my social platform, I just want to thank you for going the extra step and coming into this course and for learning how to become a better pilot and to progress your career. So like I said, I've worked in almost every part of aviation. I've held many, many jobs, and I've interviewed many times. Okay, I have interviewed many, many times. I have sent an insane amount of resumes, cover letters, job applications to companies. We're talking, I probably am close to 1,000 by now. I've sent a lot. I know this process. I've been in this process. I've experienced both sides of the hiring process. And now I'm taking and passing my knowledge and expertise and experiences to you. I'm absolutely passionate about this industry, and I want to make a difference for other pilots coming up behind me. Speaking of behind me, what do you guys think of this cockpit? I know I'm facing the wrong way, but maybe the chair that I'm in spins around. I don't know. Anyways, I thought it was pretty cool, and it looks nice. So anyways, we're here to have fun, okay? We're here to talk and, just kick back, watch these videos, get through these modules, and slowly grow as the process continues. So I'm genuinely excited to be here with you. And I really want to thank you for investing your time and your money into these courses. You will get more value than you think. I promise you that. I'm here for you. I want you to know that this is a community that I'm starting to grow, and you're part of it. There are other pilots just like you that are building their careers right alongside you. The difference, though, they're not here in this course. They're not taking the next step. They're maybe, they graduated and then they're kind of waiting for somebody to offer them a job. That's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to reinvest in your own education, to condense decades into days. And that's what we're doing here. So I'm very excited that you're here with me to do that. And you're not like your peers, and you're not sitting on the couch just waiting for a job. So I want to stress that point. I'm going to talk about that more as time goes on, but it's very important that you invest in your own education, and you're here doing that. So very genuinely excited to have you here. In a little bit, I'm going to talk about a private Facebook group that exists for the Academy, and I want you to consider becoming a part of that community. So this course and this academy is aviation specific. It's not like any other course where you just go and purchase a service where they write your resume for you, they write your career package for you. You're going to learn how to do it for yourself. This is a course that you are going to be self-guided. Just like when you're in your aviation training, when you're getting your commercial pilot's license, you've got a syllabus, but you've kind of got to be the one who sets the initiative. So that's really what we've got here. This is all for you. It's written for you. It's written for the pilot who has graduated and does not know where to go, does not have a direction, needs something to get them from point A to point B. And so that's what we are going to be going through here in these courses. All right. Going back to what I was saying in regards to other courses, other resume services, they don't understand aviation. Okay. Other career and resume services just don't understand aviation. They don't understand aviation principles. They don't understand FAA regulations, flight hour requirements, HR companies, and how they work with insurance companies. There's a lot there that they just can't get into because they don't live and breathe aviation like you and I do. So we're gonna make that happen. So I really hope you guys get the most out of this academy and get the most out of being here. The rest of this introduction is going to kind of go deeper into what you need to know to get started. All right. So why does this academy exist? I've kind of gotten into it a little bit, previously, but we're really going to talk more about why it exists. All right. The answer here, it's very simple. After a pilot graduates flight school as a commercial pilot, he or she has very little options of what to do next. Maybe this is you. Maybe this was you, and you're trying to get some advice for a friend. This was me. I graduated. I had my certificate in my hand, and I was like, now what? I don't know. I don't know where to go. I don't have a direction. I don't have a path. I've heard it be said before that if you fail to plan, then you're going to plan to fail. And it's really true, because if you don't have this foundation of how you are going to make and take executable action, nothing's going to happen. Okay. So this is a guide for you guys, and we're just really going to go through it in depth. So building your flight time is a requirement from companies, okay? And it's necessary to be qualified for consideration. And here's the thing. We all know about 1,500 hours, but there's also 750 hours. There's 500 hours. Getting to those hours is a daunting task, okay? Let me just tell you, it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. I'm sure this is you. I'm sure you have already felt these things. So I don't need to tell you how that feels. You know how that feels. You're still going to feel that, but in this course, I'm going to give you the best possible way to take that feeling and apply yourself to make that feeling kind of go away, because you're going to have direction. All right. I know and understand the struggle. Like I said, I've lived it. But right now, I'm dedicated to serving commercial pilots from 250 to 1,500 hours. I have my hours. I've done, plenty of flying. I could get into more of what I've done, but cargo, banner towing, ferry. I've just done a lot of stuff, and I've built hours, so I understand how you or kind of how you make it happen. All right. So my goal is to help pilots like yourself significantly reduce your frustrations, because there's a lot of them. Let's be honest. I see it all the time. I talk to pilots all the time. They're just frustrated because they can't get things to happen. Okay. Because you've got flight hour milestones you're trying to hit in your logbooks. I'm going to kind of help you look at this from a different perspective. We're not going to so much focus on your hours. We're going to focus, or sorry, not focus on getting specific amount of hours. We're going to focus on building your journey. Because when you hit a point like I am, where I'm at, you're going to look back at all the time that you've done, and you're going to be so grateful for all the little jobs that you took, or grateful for all the experiences that put you where you are right now. And so you're up against a lot. Okay. You're up against the milestones for your flight hours. You're up against, like I said earlier, companies, HR, human resources, insurance, hiring policies. There's a lot to be up against. So can I hand you a job? No, not now. Maybe in the future I'll have a way to do that to where I can hire pilots. It's something I've been thinking about for a long time and dreaming about. But that's down the road. So I can't hand you a job right now, okay? Which is what you need. And I understand that's what you need and that's what you want. This course is going to hand you the tools to teach yourself how to basically get that job and have a better successful journey than the person who isn't. So like I said, I'm not handing you a job. I'm handing you the tool bag to get that job. I'm handing you the resources to get that job. I'm handing you the advantage that the other guy doesn't have. And you have to put the work in. You've got to apply. Okay. We have a great lack of career prep in flight schools. It's kind of astonishing. This course is the course that should be given before your commercial pilot check ride. I sincerely hope these courses at some point in the future, they make it into flight schools, all flight schools, into the system of before you graduate your commercial pilot check ride, you have gone through career prep. You have a good resume. You have a good cover letter. You have a network, a social network. You understand how all this works before you take your check ride. But until that day happens, it's going to take pilots like you and I to help each other, to work together, and to help the next guy coming up the ladder behind us, which is what I really hope. After you get through these courses and you see success and you get your hours, help the next guy. Say, hey, this is some tips that I took, or like you can even point them towards this course, or you could send them towards a company that you work for that's looking for pilots like you. But now you're the guy who's passing on the knowledge. I hope that this inspires you to do that. It has for me. I've taken information from my mentors and I've crafted it and used it and tested it. And now I'm applying it to this course, to you guys. So this course was and has been, I guess the entire academy designed. This entire thing is designed by high-time pilots like myself, who were in your shoes at 250 hours. We know what you've gone through. We know how you have felt. We know what you've experienced. We know your frustrations. And by taking those and understanding those things, I and my colleagues have been able to craft this course and this academy for you. So And the reason why is because this is what we wished we had when we were at 250 hours. This course, I wish I had this course when I graduated. I wish I had a way to write my own resume, write my own cover letter, and take those that knowledge and build a profile for myself, and then go out there and start hitting the pavement and start applying and getting jobs and seeing success. I had to go the long way to do it because I didn't have a a blueprint, and that's what this course and academy is going to do. So with that, there's two designs in mind. It's going to, like I said, set you up with a bag of tools that is going to help you start building your career, and then it's going to shorten your path of success. Like I said, years, decades into days of getting a job. So what are you going to accomplish by the end of the full academy? Remember, this intro is for the full academy. There's 8 different courses in the academy. Each course is going to place you 1 to 2 steps ahead of your pilot friends who are applying beside you. They are just shooting in the dark. They don't really have what they need to get into a job, unless, they're lucky or they know somebody, which we'll get into that later. Okay. Also, you're going to accomplish having a focused career path in aviation. Okay. You're going to fully understand the work needed to accomplish your goals. Okay. You're going to have a professional aviation cover letter. You're going to have a professional, effective aviation resume. I say effective because, as we'll get into, future courses, I don't know if you know this or not, but if you send your resume into a job application, 90% chance that resume is going to get rejected. It gets rejected by automatic software that reads it, doesn't see what it's looking for, and kicks it out, and human eyeballs never see it. We're going to fix that. Okay. You're going to learn how to stand out on LinkedIn. This is the place where recruiters and HR live, and you've got to be able to navigate that world well. So we're going to get you into that and show you how to do that. You're going to understand how recruiters and HR think, and this is important because if you know that this is your goal and you're here, you've got to be able to reverse engineer from where you want to be to where you are, and that is through understanding how recruiters think, how HR thinks, what they're looking for. You got to have a skill for looking like a professional pilot. It's something I'm going to go through in these courses. You are a professional pilot. You've got to look like a professional pilot to be considered, to be seriously considered, but also to make a first impression. The first impression is everything. If you walk in the front door wearing some hula shirt and it's got ketchup stains here, and you just don't really look like you care, but you have, good hours or whatever, they're not going to take you seriously. Not to say you're not a professional, you are, but you got to make the first impression. We're going to get into that more in the course, in the academy. You're going to have an understanding of what will be asked of you during the interview so you can prepare. Okay, we're going to go through the common questions that are asked so that way you know what to think about ahead of time. You got to be thinking, if I get asked this question, I want to have a story ready to go. So that way, this is something that I did recently. I knew they were going to ask a question about emergencies, and I thought about an emergency that I had experienced, and then as soon as they said it, boom, I delivered it, and I made an impression. Okay. You're also going to know what steps to take immediately after the interview. That's important as well, because if you just fire it off and then say, okay, whatever, there's some follow-up that you can do. We'll get into that. What is the best practices for that? And then finally, you're going to have the ability to update your resume and reapply this knowledge over and over and over again. This is the teach a man to fish principle. I'm going to teach you how to fish for a job. I'm going to teach you how to bait your hook and how to go to the right lake and put the lure in the right lake at the right time of day, and how to get the bite. Boom. That's what we're going to be doing here. And then, hey, if it doesn't work, you put a new lure on and you do it again and you do it again and you do it again. Okay. So that is what you can expect from why this entire course exists. Okay. We're going to take you from student pilot into a professional looking pilot and then into a pilot job, pilot career. Okay, we are in the third portion of the intro. What is CAVU? And we're going to talk about the core values. CAVU stands for Ceilings and Visibility Unlimited. It is an acronym that we use in aviation. But here at Commercial Pilot and Command, I believe that with the right mindset, the right tools, and the right knowledge, your career as a pilot has no ceiling. And your personal vision has a potential for absolute unlimited possibilities. You need to have a clear vision. Like I was explaining earlier, you need to have clear vision to start out the right way in your career. You've got to be able to take and apply the right tools and the right knowledge, like I was saying with fishing, to get out there and have a strategy of how you're going to make it happen. So that's why it's called CAVU, because with the right tools and the right ability, there's no ceiling, there's no restricted visibility. It's all on you. Like, you can make this happen, and you have nothing to cloud the vision anymore, because when you graduate, it's all cloudy. Like, oh, what do I do? It's like sitting in an airplane in low visibility, and you're thinking, am I even going to be able to take off today? That fogginess of your career and having commercial pilot's license, getting a job, is going to burn off. All right, let's get into the core values. These are the core values that I have for my business, and these are the core values that I want you to know and understand and see, because it's extremely important that you understand why we're doing this. I want you to understand what's the point, because if there's no point, then you're going to feel kind of lost in the courses. So the core values, the first one, pilots are our obsession. Every pilot's career matters. Okay, that is insanely important. This whole thing is about you. This whole thing is focused on you, the pilot. So we're obsessed with your career. We're obsessed with making your career successful. Second one, a pilot's career path is not linear, and it doesn't need to be pretty. Okay? Trust me. It doesn't need to be pretty. All right? You do what you have to do to get the job done. And you don't have to, like, okay, I'm going to go up this career ladder. It doesn't always look that way. That's not really life. It's more like this, right? You're going all over the place. And sometimes you're down here and you take a job over here, and then you take a job over here, and then you get hours over here. And before you know it, you're at the end of this, like, this journey, and you look at how you got there, and it's just this maze. Okay. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be effective. Number 3, the time that a pilot spends in general aviation is a crucial part of their journey and of ours. I love general aviation. I absolutely love general aviation because you learn and you get so much experience. You fly low and slow, and you see the world, and you learn how to fly like a pilot without autopilot, and you learn how to navigate, and you learn how to do everything a pilot does before you get into a position where you can press buttons and you have a co-pilot and they help you and you have a crew. That is up here. But before you get there, where it's mostly easier, okay, it's not easy, but it's easier, you have to learn how to fly stick and rudder, man. You've got to spend time in your in your shop, helping change oil on airplanes. I always say real pilots have oil and grease on their hands. And that's how I have come up, and that's what I love and is so passionate about. So that's why it's number 3 on my core values. Number 4, your relationship, or the relationship between the pilot and the airplane, is very, very important. It's monumental, because you have to understand that you're not in a car, and you understand this, you guys are pilots. You're not in a car. Yeah, it kind of goes where you go, but for the most part, it's just gravity holds it there. And as long as you're not going 115 miles per hour around a corner, you're probably not going to crash, right? So with an airplane, if you make a slow steady pull, you're going to feel it. You're going to move left, you're going to move right, rudder here, rudder there. You know, there's different things that you have to worry about if you're in a multi-engine, you know, having a critical engine. Like, you guys understand here that you are one with the airplane. I know I sound like some, I don't know, Star Wars Jedi or whatever, but the truth is that you tell the airplane what to do and it does it. It responds to how you tell it to respond. And so you have to establish a very important relationship with that airplane so it does what you tell it to do. Your career is no different. Your career responds to how you tell it to respond. So that's why that is number 4. And then the final core value is the journey to building hours is far more valuable than the destination. What do I mean by this? All the time and experiences and memories that you're going to build along the way are going to shape you into the pilot you will someday become. Everybody wants to graduate and then boom, I want to be an airline pilot. Well, it doesn't work that way. You've got to slowly work your way up, and you've slowly got to, sometimes you hit a plateau and you're stuck here for like 200 or 300 hours. And you're like, oh, I just need to get the next job. And you just slowly work your way up. That entire journey is important because someday you'll look back and you'll have no regrets. You'll look back and you'll think to yourself, I accomplished everything. You know, I did amazing things as a pilot. And now I'm a captain at an airline. And if somebody had just handed it to me, it would have not made such an impact. It would have not been so important. It would have been just too easy, right? You didn't earn it. You're going to earn it by being in general aviation and building hours and building time. You're going to earn it. And it will be glorious one day when you sit there and you think to yourself, geez, I just accomplished so much. I just cannot believe how much I've done, how many things I've seen, how many places I've gone. And then you're going to look back and you'll see another guy behind you trying to do the same thing, and you're going to work with him and help him out or her out. So that is the 5 core values that we've got that I wanted to go through with you so that way you know what this entire academy is built on. This is the foundation. Okay, we are starting number 4. Number 4 is, how does it all work? How does this academy work? Each CAVU in this academy is its own course, and there's 8 of them. There is the, well, I'll go through them real quick. We've got number 1, which is how to discover a clear and focused path to your pilot career. Number 2, how to build an astonishing aviation cover letter. It is your only first impression. Number 3, how to build a professional aviation resume the right way the first time. CAVU number 4, how to build a professional online presence as a pilot. You have to network and you have to stand out on social. CAVU course number 5, insights from an aviation recruiter. CAVU number 6, how to present yourself as a professional pilot. CAVU number 7, how to prepare for the pilot interview. And CAVU number 8, what to do after the pilot interview. Those are the 8 CAVU courses that this academy is made up of, and we're going to talk about how the individual CAVUs work. Okay, so let's get into it. Some of your courses here, the way it's going to be is you're going to have a video module. You'll watch that video. There'll be some call to actions for you to go and do. There'll be some websites for you to visit, and then there will be, some of them will be, it will include a downloadable content like a PDF or a worksheet or something like that, just for you to kind of have for your own personal records. It'll look something to the effect of this. Okay, let me just show you. It'll have, you know, your stuff here and then questions for you to kind of go through. This will be your own personal journal, I guess you could say, for how you want to become the better commercial pilot. So that's what you guys will see. It's all at your own pace, okay? All of it. You will have the ability to pause and stop and come back the next day. I recommend taking your time with it. Don't rush it. Work each module, work each course one at a time until you've kind of mastered it, and then move on to the next. All right. Those are what you can expect from the individual courses. So, like for example, in the resume writing course, I want you to have your resume right in front of you as I go through another professional resume creation process to show you how it's made. So you can look at yours and see a direct correlation between yours, how it exists now, or maybe you don't have one yet, into the example of the professional resume. And you're going to be able to compare and contrast, and you're going to see that this one here has ABC things that are there, and this is what recruiters like, and this is what HR looks for, and yours doesn't have that. Let's put it in there. So you're going to have the comparison there. So that is kind of how that is going to work. Also, I want to invite you into a community. This is important. Networking is important. I want to invite you into the specially designed Facebook group. It's a private Facebook group. It's designed for pilots just like yourself who are investing and building in your careers. In fact, everybody who's in this academy and in these courses is going to be in there. This is a place for you to collaborate with other pilots at the same hour and experience levels as yourself, who are also going through these modules, who are also going through these courses. You're going to be able to network with them, call them, send messages, whatever it is that you want to do, compare. It's going to be a place for you to build each other up. There's a saying, iron sharpens iron. Okay, so you're going to be sharpening yourself, your skills, your friends' skills, your peers' skills together, and you're going to be able to help each other grow. Because at some point, when you get to this level and your peers are there too, aviation will be stronger. Aviation will be a better industry. I feel like right now it's a bit broken, so we need to step outside of that, make some changes. So that way, when you and I are at the level, we've got gray hair and we're kind of the experienced guys, we'll be able to help set the course for everybody coming up behind us. That is going to be a place for you to collaborate. Hey, you never know. You might meet somebody in this group that has a brother at a skydiving place, at a skydiving company that you've always wanted to work for. You just never know. And networking is the way to get in. It's the easiest, fastest way to get into jobs. The resume and all that stuff is important, but networking is the most important. Think about this. Being in that group, you are going to have that special exclusive access. You're going to be able to communicate more directly with me, because I'm going to be, kind of monitoring that group and putting my best knowledge and information in that group, where the rest of the YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, they are not going to have access to, like you have access. You'll have exclusive access where they do not have access, because you've invested in this course and you've invested yourself into a new level of understanding and education. So you're going to get the exclusive benefits there. It's all part of the course. This is kind of like, a membership for you. If you think about it that way, you can click on the link below the video and get in there and get connected. Okay, we are in closing thoughts. This is going to kind of wrap up everything. I've still got a lot to talk about here, so don't click off just yet. This is going to be kind of, what to expect next. So the information in this course is a pool of information of many resources that I've connected to. And this includes, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, this is going to include, high-time airline pilots, commercial pilots. I've got recruiters I'm talking to, top-level executives who are interviewing talent, they hire qualified candidates, and then they also terminate on a regular basis. So I want to inspire you to network the way I have networked. This academy is half the battle, okay? The other half is who you know. If you were to walk up to a CEO's office of a major airline and you were to say to this receptionist, "Hey, my name is Bob. I know the CEO. It's okay. Just let me in." Yeah, what's going to happen? Yeah, you're not getting in. But if the CEO of that airline steps out of their office and says, "Hey, Bob, hey, what's going on? How you been? How are the kids?" I guarantee you that receptionist is not only going to hold open the door for you, but also going to get you a hot coffee and a small bag of peanuts. Okay. you're going to get in that door. So please understand that getting to this level, it just takes work. Okay. Everything in your life is worth the work. It's worth anything. It's worth time. It's worth everything that you put into it. You're going to have to make sacrifices. You're going to have to make compromises, but it's going to require work. Okay. You're going to have to multitask. You're going to have to get on the computer. You're going to have to network. You're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to go through these modules, build your resume, build your cover letter. It takes time. But once you get it, you'll have it. Okay. And it won't evade you. You'll have the knowledge and the understanding. So this is your time to grow. So I want to encourage you to just follow this system. Okay. Follow the system that we've got in all of these courses. Work it from start to finish, because this is your time to learn. This is your time to grow. And you're going to be ahead of your pilot friends. Okay, hear me on that. I know I mentioned that before. I'm going to talk about that a lot in these courses because they're not here. Not that I want to talk about them behind their backs, but it's to show you why you're here, to remind yourself why you're here. Okay? So take the time to do this course and do the modules to the fullest and most focused capacity. You, again, go at your own pace, but I just want to encourage you to commit to finish each course that you've invested in. Commit yourselves. If you plan in your head, all right, today I'm going to do these 3 things. I'm going to commit. I'm going to get my cover letter done today. And then I'm going to show a friend and they're going to say, oh, this looks good or this doesn't look good. And then I'm going to go and revise it and go back into the modules and see, oh, I missed something. Okay, we're going to add that in. Keep doing it. Keep working it. You'll get there. Okay, that's what this whole academy is designed to do. It's to set you up for success. Because here's the thing. You're already successful. You're already good at this. You're a pilot, man, or woman, you are a pilot. Think about that for a second. 99% of the population are not pilots. They are whatever. They couldn't fly an airplane. They rely on you as a pilot to get them from A to B. And you can put a machine made out of metal and wood and fabric and plastic into the sky and bring it back home safely. This is a serious accomplishment. I like to think we're kind of an elite group because we can do something the rest of the population can't. It's amazing. Just think about the Wright brothers, man. I have a poster of the Wright brothers here. They accomplished something and set a path for us that we'll never, ever, ever fully appreciate. If you think about yourself, in your career, you have wood and metal right now, wood and metal laying in a pile, and you're trying to get in this great airline job. You got to think like the Wright brothers. They didn't quit. They didn't give up. They put that metal together and they built a structure and they put an engine on it and they learned how to make it work and they put it into the air. That's what you need to do with your career. That's what you need to do with your resume. You need to build it and then put it into the air. Okay? We're going to do that. We're going to work together and get you there. But you're already good at this. You can do this. Okay? You really can. So with that in mind, I want you to just encourage you to put your head down. All right? Grind the work. Type and learn and educate and just grind and work and grind and work. Okay? You got to invest the time it takes to get it done to set yourself up for success, because 1, maybe 2, 3 months from now, this course will help you stop feeling so lost like I talked about. You'll be in a position where you have accomplished some personal goals and you'll get started. You'll get the train moving. I guess the airplane moving, whatever. All right. You're going to have these executable items where you can take action right now. As soon as you're done with this intro, you can get into the first course and you can start building your career. You can start learning how to pick a career path right here, today, not 10 years from now. 10 years from now, you're going to look back and think, man, I just wish I would have started today in 2022. I don't want you to, have that regret. I want you to start now. Start today. Start working, because like I said, the other guy isn't, and he's applying for those jobs. You need to cut through that noise. You need to cut right past. It's like cutting in line. It's the worst thing, right? If somebody cuts in front of you. What's even worse is when they cut in front of you because the bouncer lets them cut in front of you, and the bouncer is like, "Yeah, come on in." And you're like, "Oh, how do I get in? How do I get in that place?" And you're standing behind 100 people. That's what this course is. This course is your name on the list to get you right in and skip everybody else. It will take work. I can't stress that enough. You have to work. Just please remember that. You're not entitled to anything. Nobody's going to give you a job if you don't work for it. This is kind of tough love, but I've experienced this. I've been through this. You can't expect anything. You need to have zero expectations. You have zero expectations, then you're like, as soon as something good happens, you're at 1, you're like, "Oh, that's great." You have zero expectations. Nobody's going to give you a job. HR isn't going to call you. It's going to take a lot of work, okay? But you can do it. But think about, going through instrument. Instrument was a lot of work. You had to learn how to fly in the clouds, man. This is like some of the hardest flying you'll ever do, but you did it and you accomplished it. Maybe you don't have your instrument yet, but if you do, you know the grind. You know the focus. So think about that. Okay? I want to give you a quote here. The reason a lot of people do not recognize opportunity is because it usually looks like work because it's walking around the streets in coveralls. All right. Thomas Edison said that, and it still holds true today. So I think I've said enough about the work, but I just want you to remember that it does take work. Okay. So after you complete this introduction, you will have access to the course that you've purchased. All right. You will see that there are other courses in the academy that are locked. Okay. Depends on which one. Unless you have the entire academy, you're going to have different courses that are locked, but you can purchase those and get access to those. Maybe you already have a cover letter and you want to get a resume. Well, you don't need the cover letter one. That's fine. That's fine. You can just, it's all self-paced. Whatever ones you need, you can get those ones. If you want the entire academy or you've gotten the entire academy, then you're set. Okay. So if there's something else that interests you in the academy, it'll be a little bit easier for you to gain access to those courses because they'll be there, they'll be locked. Okay. In fact, I'll offer anybody who's already purchased a single course here a 10% discount, all right, on the next course that you purchase. So if you've purchased the entire academy, of course, you'll have access. In fact, you'll have lifetime access. What that means is you'll have everything forever. You will have any updates that I put in here. A couple years from now, they might change the 1,500-hour rule. Who knows? Well, I'm going to recraft some things in the course. I'm going to put it in the course. You'll have access. You won't have to worry about that. You'll get updates. And then it'll be like new academy. And you'll go in there and you'll be able to watch all of that. And you won't have to pay again one time. All right. So you'll get those updates. And like I said, you get a 10% discount on the next course that you purchase, or, it's more ideal to buy the entire course because you just get everything. But if you want to buy them one at a time, you're most welcome to do that. I'll give you a little discount for doing that. All right. What questions do you have? Okay. You most definitely can reach out to me and ask. You can put some comments below this video, below the introduction here. Ask me questions. If you have anything that you'd like to say, any kind of feedback, I would absolutely love to have that. I just want to encourage you to get started. Jump in, man. Get in there and start working them. And I will most definitely be right there with you, helping you along the way. So I very much appreciate you being here. This is something that is very special to me because I want to help pilots grow their careers. You're stuck in this 250 to 500 to 750 hour range. I want to help you get through it. So let's work together. I'll see you in the next course, whichever one you have. And if you have the whole academy, thank you very much for being a part of this. We're going to have a lot of time to go through everything, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you progress. So get started, get in there, and I'll see you in each individual course. Thank you for being part of the CAVU Career Pilot Academy.